little network issue, but I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this is the first of its kind, first what would I call it? A workshop, live coding workshop for the techFiesta developer community, and we are having faith, and we're talking about front-end integration with smart contract. So a quick run, a quick introduction of myself. My name is Emmanuel Tokwe, and I'm developer advocate for techFiesta, concerned about the developer advocacy and also, having developers know about techFiesta and also act on techFiesta. And here today we have Faith M. Roberts. Faith is a friend. We work together with Falcon Nigeria and Ethereum Nigeria. And now she's she's a blockchain dev, a Web3 developer. So I'll just allow her, do a quick introduction before we dive into today's coding session. Okay, Faith, you have the microphone now.
Okay, good day, everyone. It's nice being here. Thank you so much, Tope. So, I'm a Web3 developer, Solidity, and I just started building on the StackNet ecosystem. And so we'll be doing front-end integration with smart contracts today. So I am trying to be sure that we are carrying everyone along. So hope we all understand what smart contracts is and how to generate a smart contract API.
So yeah, this is like a feedback. If you understand what's how smart contracts, I think that's two questions, and how to generate ABIs. I think Faith, you could just take us on that, and also how to generate, then we work on integrating with front end.
Okay, can I share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to share your screen. Which try.
Let's see.
Yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah, let's connect myself.
Okay, all right, thank you. So be using a very simple smart contract to generate the API. So since you can see my screen, let me um, um can you please can you confirm if you can see my VS Code? I want to be
Yeah,
sure you can see everything. Okay. All
I
right,
can.
thank you.
When you minimize mode though, not um
Not
maximum. Yeah, sure. Good now.
okay, so I'm going to use Hadat environment to create um a new setup for a smart contract. So we'll just use the Hadat sample code to sample smart contract to deploy it and generate an ABI. So if you want to work with Hadat, you'll just go to their documentation. I think I have it here. Hadat.org. So you could use Hadat or you could use Foundry. These are dev environments for writing smart contracts, deploying smart contracts, scripting and testing of your smart contracts. Then go to general overview. And so you can see how that the development environment for Ethereum software consists of different components for editing, compiling, debugging, and deploying your smart contracts and dApps, all of which work together to create a complete development environment. So we'll go straight into installation. This is how you install a new Hadat folder project, sorry. So in order to do that, let's come here, guide to setting up our project. We first need to initiate this. So we'll create a folder, an empty folder. We'll do an npm init. Then we'll install Hadat in that folder and configure it to for our preference. Okay, so let me do this. Hope you can see this. Please, can you see my screen? Is it too small?
Yes,
Can
kind of
anyone hear
tiny.
me?
Yes, Emmanuel, can hear you. It's tiny.
Okay,
If you can
okay.
just like,
Is this better?
go back to the command prompt.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah, it's better now. Command prompt, yes, better.
Okay, okay. So I'll just make a new folder. Now CV into it. So now that we're here, we'll do our npm init, following the whole yes the whole instructions. Npm init. Then next we'll go to npm install save dev hadat. So we are trying to now configure our environment.
Okay, so that might take a little bit, maybe some seconds. So a
Yes.
quick one, Faith. What you mentioned something about ABI, and I might want you to just talk about ABI. I know of API, API.
Yeah.
So that's API for Web2, yeah. Then we know of ABI for Web3. So just say something about the difference and before we just move on to.
Okay. So when we talk about ABI, ABI is the full meaning is application binary interface. So this is more like the smart contract code you're interacting with. So after creating your smart contract, you have various functions on your smart contract, right? But you cannot use those functions directly on your front end. They need to be compiled to kind of like bytecode that you could use to work with. So that is the ABI. So it is being compiled down to kind of a bytecode that you can use. You can call these functions. When you deploy your smart contract, you know what is being stored on the blockchain. It is not the whole function in the with the English way you wrote it. It is changed to the function signature, and then the whole bytecode that forms that function. So once the ABI is generated, if you want to interact with any function on the smart contract, it will just go to the particular part in the ABI where that function stored and help you interact with your smart contract. So the ABI comes deployment of your smart contract to the blockchain. That is how you update or you read from your smart contract that's already been blockchain network. So I hope I've not confused. So just like Web2 API, API help you to get information and post information to the backend from the front end or method you use. In web blockchain, in Web3 development, you use ABI to communicate, to read and to write to your smart contracts. Smart contract has to be deployed already. Yeah.
Okay, then I think it should
Okay,
be done
so
now.
it's
Yeah.
done. Yeah, so in using it, we'll have to use npx had that. So let's go back to the to be sure. So after this, okay, it wasn't stated here, but you just type npx. Okay, here you run npx had that, and then you'll be shown some of these. So let us run that npx had that. And if you are coding along, you should see this. If you see this, that means you've successfully installed your hard dev environment in this particular folder. So you can either work with a JavaScript project or a TypeScript project, but a TypeScript project is better because it gives us the errors as we are proceeding. And you just keep clicking enter. So while this is
So you made mention about TypeScript because formally when we used to use ADAT, like 2022, before ADAT had this update, it wasn't like this. You had to create one empty, one with a template. But now you have the JavaScript, the TypeScript. So what's like different, basic difference between the creating the JavaScript, project or the TypeScript project?
so the basic difference between the JavaScript and TypeScript is that the TypeScript is already typed, and so from when you start writing your code, it catches the errors if you are going to encounter any errors. So it catches it immediately and lets you know. Well, with the JavaScript, it's not typed, so anything goes. It doesn't specify if this is a struct, if this is a an array or whatever. As long as it is there, it just goes. But with TypeScript is expecting a data type, a specific data type to return per variable that you've listed. So with TypeScript, it is typed. You know that if it's a number you're expecting, it's a number that is going to come up at the end. So if it's not a number, TypeScript is going to screen before you even go further. But if it's JavaScript, you would have gone further before. At the point of trying to read the information you're getting, you'd realize that it is not what you actually wanted. So that is the benefit of using TypeScript. It just saves you, it gives you stress. Yes, you have to debug and solve it, but it saves you the stress of after deployment, getting the information you are reading is not what you actually want.
Okay, thank you for that.
I
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're done here. So we'll just open this on our, let me create a new, sorry, create a new folder, a new window. So you can see all the various folder structure that have been added. Immediately we installed the Hadat environment in our techFiesta folder. So it comes with Hadat config.ts and then the ts config.json file. So you know that your folder has been successfully installed. Your Hadat has been successfully installed. And here it comes with a pre-sample smart contract, a sample smart contract called lock. And so we'll be working with this smart contract instead of creating a new one because of our time. If you check, this is the contract that has been written. This is the script. This script helps for deployment of the smart contract that's we've written. And this part is to test your smart contract, the functions in the smart contract. So if we should go back to our contract, is this too tiny?
Okay, so you can just take it to 70% or about 80%. I mean, your VS Code. A little bit possible. Oh yeah, yeah. No, take it back. You
Is
could
this
close the
okay?
side tabs. Yeah, yeah, you could close the
Yes,
side
yes,
tabs for
I'll
now.
close it.
For now,
Yeah.
yes.
So in this folder, the contract folder, you have your contracts. You have your log.so. And when you read it, you see the whole, you know how to create your smart contract, right? The license identifier and the compiler version. And then this is for reading, for getting console.log in a hard environment. So if you want to use console.log, then you import this hard console. So we can see our contract log. It takes the variables a uint of unlock time and an address of owner, then an event to be displayed when something happens, when you perform this action, action. It also has a constructor. The constructor is unlock time. So immediately this contract is being deployed, it would set this unlock time. And what it wants is that this log timestamp should be other than unlock time. So your unlock time should be in the future. So when this contract should be on, should be in the future. So let's go through it. It has a function called withdraw. And remember, in your Solidity learnings, every public variable has a getter function. I'm sure we are with that. So this would automatically generate getter functions, or this would automatically be able to be read once this is being deployed. So let's go back. This test folder is where you could test your functions to be sure that everything is working well. The withdrawal functions, test your events, and all that. So let's not waste so much time. And then this for deploying your smart contract. So once you want to deploy your smart contract, you can write your script that helps you to deploy. It takes the timestamp, it takes the unlock time. So in this, they've already set the unlock time to be the current time plus 60 seconds. So immediately we deploy this contract, we can unlock it after 60 seconds, that is after 1 minute. Then the locked amount, this is the locked amount 0.001, and this is where you start the process of deploying. Ethers.deploy contract, the name of the contract, and the constructor parameters. And remember, our constructor is a payable, it has a payable this thing here is payable. So that means to deploy this contract, it goes with some tokens. And that is why the value is here. And this is the value being declared here, 0.01 ethers. And this would go together to deploy your contract. After that, you see we await log.wait for deployment. So we are waiting for the deployment to happen at this point. And after the deployment, it should return this console.log helps us to read information of our already deployed smart contracts. So the log amount, log timestamp, and deployed to log.target. This will give us the contract address of smart contract. All right. So, but in order to be able to deploy, you need to make some configurations in a config file, because currently it's not configured. It needs your details and your informations here. So we'll go to that config file, our other documentation, configuration, see it said the networks, ADAT network, Sepolia, and any other network you would like to add. So let's get this.
So yeah, a quick
And
question.
so to
Um,
get yours, yeah.
yeah, so you mentioned Sepolia. That's a test net. Is it only Sepolia that ADAT provides, or are there other
No,
test nets that it provides?
no, like you can deploy anywhere. Like this is just a sample. So if you
Okay,
want to send to mainnet, you can just copy this and
changes.
your comma paste and change this
Okay,
to mainnet.
okay.
Polygon, you just yes. So the distinguishing factor is the URL. The URL is your RPC key to access the whatever network you are trying to work with. All right, so to get your URL, you need to get it from a node provider, either Infura or Alchemy. So let's see, Alchemy. I always work with Alchemy, but you can also use Infura. Okay, okay. So I can see my various applications. So if this is like your first time of creating your RPC key, you won't see this showing. So you just create a new API key. So I want to work with Sepolia. I come here to get my API key, but I'll just copy this HTTPS. So it is not safe to display your information like this. And we all can't use one person's API key for this because it will create a large traffic on that person's account and can get suspended, or at some point you might need to subscribe for more calls. So you can either place it here in this URL part, or you create an environment variable in the root layer, the root folder, sorry. So create a .env where we place all of our environment variables. So Sepolia, sorry, Sepolia RPC, and then you paste it. So if you want to use an environment variable, you need to install .env into your file. So let's see. So let's install .env.
I think also, Faith, can you please clarify also for the .env, you know,
So the
uh,
.env, you're using an environment variable. So instead of pasting your links and your APIs directly here, if you can see, this is a private key. So instead of exposing them here, because if you push this code to GitHub, this harder config file will also be pushed to GitHub, and you stand the risk of your private key being exploited and your API keys being exploited. So it is safe for you to add them to your .env file and just call the names you saved it as. instead of calling the URL itself. Then make sure your git ignore has .env in it so that it ignores your .env file once you are pushing to GitHub. I don't know. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay with me. Yeah, that's okay with me. I
Okay.
just needed, needed to be clear on that. People
Clarify.
really have to
Yeah.
know why .env is important and git ignore,
Yes. Yes. Sorry. So you import your .env file. Um, .env. So sorry, I'm mixing. Let's quickly check .env and so let me quickly. Okay, yes. So .env.config. I think this is the final step. Uh, so when you get all these um, errors, most times, especially with the URL, you can use the flag, the TS ignore flag. So you do the same thing for your private key. Now for your private key, it's your real wallet address, your real wallet address. You get the private key, and then you come to your .env file, paste them, and call them in your adat config here. Okay, so I don't know if I should do that, but I'm a threat of exposing my private key, so probably. So this is just what you need to do. You add your private key or whatever name you call it. You come back here and change these names to that. So can I stop sharing my screen so that I
Yes,
quickly
I
do
think that's
that?
advisable so you can use your friends. Yeah, I would have loved to actually blow you, but then that's advisable. Just do that. So very, very important. Please, if you are developing as a developer, you are hacking, you are building a product, please always make sure you use the .env and hide your private keys because when you push to GitHub, it's gonna push every single thing. And these are people wallet get hacked, even in decentralized finance. These are many projects get hacked. Noobs dev, I call them noobs, means like newbies, people that are newbies, they push to whatever, push a project and everything as regarding that project to GitHub. And the hackers just go look for the repository, go to the config and use the private key to hack them and pull them. So it's very, very important that you are cautious as regards that. I don't know, Faith, are you done?
Almost. Okay, so
And I think you'll be giving it the same name so you can call it in what do you call it, in the .env file. You could give the same name from the .env, whatever private key. You give it, we describe private key one, you call it also in the TS folder, TS file, I mean. And also, if you have any question, clarity, please use the comment section. Type in your question in the comment section. And okay, you're back. Yeah, sure. Any
okay,
questions?
so
Type in the comment section. Yeah, thank you.
all right, so when you're calling your .env file, it's process.env dot. So it gives the references your env, and this one process env dot private key one. I think one is okay. I don't need two keys being displayed.
Sorry, I saw minutes there. You have minutes there. Was that intentional? Okay, you already cut it away.
Yeah, that was like an example of what.
Okay. Really sure.
So yeah. So this is crying. It seems it can't find. Seems it can't find this. Sorry. Sorry. Just some seconds. Wait, key one.
Still correct spelling.
Yeah. So spelling has to be correct.
Yeah, very important.
Let me come back. Um, I think I'm having a TX error. So let me bring this down. Okay. So after doing this, then we'll go into deployment. Hello, can anyone hear me? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So now that we've set up, we're deploying on Sepolia, we just go straight into deploying our contract. So we can see it's the same thing with our smart contract. So let us compile our contract to be sure everything compiles properly. Then we can come and deploy. This is sorry. Okay. So to compile npx had compile So if everything is good, it's going to compile and generate. Okay, yeah, everything is good. So it has generate type change types for us. All right, so let's try to deploy our contract. So in deploying is npx. Remember that our script um, has the deploy script already written. So it's just to initiate the script so that it does the deploy method. So npx had that run dash dash network. So this dash dash network is where you select what network you want it to be deployed to. So we are working with Sepolia. If it's a mainnet, if it's Goerli, if it's a Polygon, Celo, whatever network you want to deploy to, you make sure that you get your URL. This URL, make sure you get it from whatever node provider. If you're using Alchemy or Infura, you get the URL and set it. So this is what will be used to make sure it is deployed to the correct network. So npx had that run dash dash network, whatever network, then initiate the scripts and deploy process. Sorry, npx had that run. So we're deploying to Sepolia testnet, and the name of our script is deploy.ts. We'll run this. So it is going to run according to this script deploy.ts here. All this would start, it's an async function, so it would run asynchronously. If there's anything that needs to wait, it will wait for every other thing to be generated before it moves further. So this is what is being um, initialized in this part where we call deploy. So we can see after it finished deploying, it gave us this console log. Lock width, remember the locked amount is 0.0018 here, this locked amount. And unlock timestamp, it gave us the timestamp of the unlock time. Remember the unlock time is the current time plus 60 seconds and deployed to this. So this is our deployed contract. This is our contract address. So remember that this is our contract address on the Sepolia network. So far, please, are you all following? Do we have any questions to this point, please?
If you have a question, you just use the comment section. And for now, no. But then you can just continue. Yeah.
So you go to your scan, sepolia.etherscan.io, so that we can check out the contract address that just got deployed. So here we'll paste it and search for it. And here you can see that we just deployed the contract 1 minute ago. Contract creation. Now, if you check here, you see this tick on this. This happened because we are using the HADAT contract. The HADAT contract that's already been written like a factory contract. So once you write a factory contract and you deploy a child contract with that factory contract at the same time and it verifies, any other child contracts under the factory contract you try to deploy will automatically get verified. So it has saved us the process of verifying this contract, because it's already a verified contract. It's a trusted HADAT contract, and it's a factory contract. So all the child contracts being deployed using the same bytecode would all be automatically verified. So if your contract is a new contract and you deploy it, when you come to this part, you won't see this tick here, and you won't be able to read. So if you click on this now, we can see, you see that similar match source code. This contract matches the deploy bytecode of the source code for contract this. So probably this would have been the factory contract that has all these child contracts, all these had that contract lock, um, that all have the same bytecode, because we didn't change anything in it. So this will be the factory, and those will be the children. They are already deployed and they are the same. So if yours is a new smart contract, it wouldn't be verified. You wouldn't see this tick and you wouldn't see this part. You would have to verify your contract before you can read or write. I just hope we all are getting that. This is already verified, and that's why we see this tick, and that's why we can also read the contract and write to the contract. So remember I told you about the public variables, that as long as they are public, there's a getter function. That means you can read them. So if you remembered, in our smart contract there was no function called owner or unlock time. But because they were public variable, that's why we can read them. And this is my wallet address that deployed this contract, and that is why I'm the owner. And this is the unlock time, when I can unlock this contract and remove whatever it is in it. And this write contract, you remember we had one function in the smart contract, which is the withdraw function. So this is the only write contract in it. So in order to withdraw, I have to connect my um, address, my wallet to this, and click on write, and it will write to the smart contracts. So having seen this and our contracts have been verified, if you have contracts and they are not verified, you come to HADAT, verifying your contract. You see the implementations for verifying your contracts here. Let's go here. So after this, you come back and put npx HADAT verify, whatever network you deployed it to. Then this will be the contract address that you deployed, that you want to be verified. You paste here. This is not so necessary. Then if your contract has a constructor and the constructor has parameters, you'd have to I think there's more for constructor parameters. Let me see how that's verified. um, you'd have to create a new file, just a small file. You put module.export in it. Then in an array like bracket, all the whole parameters that are supposed to be in your constructor, they should be there. Then save it in whatever file, maybe argument.js. Then when you now want to verify it, you now write npx HADAT verify dash dash constructor dash args, then the name of the file where you saved the constructor arguments, then the deployed contract address. Once you do that and everything is in place, your constructor arguments are being arranged properly the way you defined it in your smart contract before deployment, your um your smart contract will get verified. And once you view it on your Sepolia scan, you would see that you can read and you can write to it. So it's until you get to this point, you won't be able to interact with the smart contract. So
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. We are with
okay.
you. For sure.
So for those that are on the call, any questions? I need you to ask questions now. Or is it clear so that I'm not just talking to myself? I need answers from the other audience, not just Emmanuel, so that I'm sure that we are all on the same page. Abdurrahman, Abdullahi, and Victor, Vadims. Is it going well?
Yes, Miss Peter, we are hearing you.
Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So now, remember I made mention of ABI. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. I made mention of an ABI, and this is where you generate
Hello, Faith. Can every other person hear me clearly?
Yes, we are hearing you. I think Miss Peter is hearing
Okay, I think it's our network. Let me just be part that she has no network issue. Sorry, guys.
So when you scroll,
Hello, Faith. Your network has been like you were out for a while, about 30 seconds, if not.
you see
Hello, Faith.
something
Faith,
called contract.
Faith.
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, you were out for like 15 to 20 seconds. Can you hear me now? Hello, Faith.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So, can you hear
Uh,
me real time?
yes, I think I can
Okay, so we lost
hear
you where you asked the question
you.
about how to get ABI. So, like, how to generate the ABI.
Okay, so I should continue from there, right? So
Yes,
I'll
start from there.
continue
Yeah.
from there now. Okay, so to generate your API, but can you all see my screen? Do you all
Thumbs up, positive. Yes.
click on code? Once you click on code, you scroll, and once you scroll, you get to the point where you see contract ABI. Now, this contract ABI is the ABI of your smart contract. All your functions, all your variables, everything, it's here. So if you want to interact with your smart contract, this is what you interact with. So you come here and copy your ABI. You can copy it or you can export it, whatever method you want to do. So
I I can we can see. Okay, yeah. We couldn't. You were showing the Zoom call screen, not your ETA scan. So it's on the ETA scan now.
okay, so I think I'm having network issue. Seems it's lagging. So let me quickly rejoin the call.
Okay, wait. I think it's not lagging now. I think I can see you. You're scrolling down on Sepolia, but it has come. So I think it's not lagging now.
Okay, I think it is lagging because I scrolled down like some minutes ago and I'm still on the Zoom or looking at you all. So let me
Okay.
just quickly leave and join back.
Okay.
Sorry about
Yeah, so no,
this.
it's no problem, it's no problem,
Just
it's
give
no
me
problem.
1 minute.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, guys, she's gonna be joining next 30 seconds to that 1 minute. I hope we are learning a lot. So it's gonna be posted on YouTube. So if you don't, what do you call it, grasp everything, you could just go to the YouTube when we are done uploading it. Like I said, please make sure you join, what do you call it, the Telegram community and also the Discord community so that you can get updated with all of the information that I'll keep putting out there. Uh, I will post, what do you call it? I'll post the techFiesta link tree again so that we can join on the call. So you just go to our YouTube. YouTube is techFiesta. Twitter techFiesta_arc. LinkedIn is techFiesta. Engage, ask questions in the Discord server, ask questions in the Telegram channel. We still have access to some of our speakers. Any question you ask, just tag them and they will give you answers to those questions. So sorry about the glitching network. It can be so unexpected, uh, um, even with styling. Quite funny though. So yeah, thank you very much for just think with patience, I would say. So she'll be joining very soon. I don't know if anybody has a question. And okay, yeah, she's joining in 10 seconds. I should have right now. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hello, Faith. Faith?
Okay. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, but I can't see you. I can hear you. Sure.
Let me share my screen immediately. So, okay. So can you see you can see the screen now, right? Yeah, right. Thank you. So once your contract has been verified, you'd see these three options: code, read contracts, and write contracts. So when you click on code, you'll be able to scroll and see the various. This is your contract. This is your block.so, and these are the settings. Then this is your ABI, your contract ABI. So this is what you'll be interacting with and the front end. This is what you'll be using for interaction. Any of the functions, it is here compiled in this ABI here. Now this is your bytecode. This is what is stored on the EVM, the blockchain. This. So that's why it's called the deployed bytecode, because you know that the EVM cannot read this high level language. It has to be compiled to a very low level where the um, virtual machine can read and understand. And that is why it is like this. All right, so having done this, then your smart contract is ready. And now the next step is for you to do your front end, set up your front end. So, okay, we can do it here. So we could create a. Please, can you see this screen? Hope this screen is showing the
Yeah,
terminal.
you can see your command
Okay,
prompt.
okay. So, um, you can set up your front end application now. So before I do that, let me be sure that we all know how to set up front end. Okay. So how many people in the house know how to set up their front end applications using frameworks or libraries like React or React majorly. Like I can just raise your
Yeah, with a
hand.
show of hand, use React. Or you could just, can run through. Can you do that,
Okay.
please? Just,
Yeah, so that so I'm trying my best not to be so
take time, yeah?
yeah, so that I don't go too far and then no one is following.
I get it.
So we all know how to okay. I want to believe that we know how to install React application. So I'll be using Next framework for React. It's just the best when you are doing any decentralized application. So we install Next. And we can name it DAP. So let's install this. So while this is installing, okay, yes, like to use TypeScript. Yes, yes, we like to use David CSS. Yes, SRC directory. We don't need this app router. So like this is just um based on you and what you want. So you configure it however suits you. So I think it's installing.
So I think a quick question that we could just use to, engage time. Um,
Yeah.
frameworks that work, front-end frameworks that work with, smart contracts. They are React.js, Next. Can you make a list and what
Okay,
differ?
so
What
so
like
far so far I've only worked with React JS because it has JS only supports React hooks for now, and then it's ITAS JS we use to communicate with the blockchain. So for now, it is just React JS that is being supported. So any framework under React, majorly Next framework for React, or you're using core React JS. As long as it's React and it has access to the React hooks, you can use it to implement front end for your smart contracts. So
Thank you very much for that. I think this
yes,
should be
so I
good to us
think
now.
this is
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
All right, now this is done. So we should have it, yeah, DAP test showing here. So let's quickly cd into it. And because this is a Nest app, if you go to the package.json, you can see that it is the script is run with the dev. So you use npm run dev. So let's be sure that our application is working properly. We'll use npm run dev, see that it is ready at 3000, localhost 3000.
Mm.
Let's run this. Okay, so our application is set up already. So most times, um, this theme, this dark theme you see is based on user user preference, right? So it is not majorly Next.js. If another user should run this, they can see that this theme might be light theme instead of dark theme. So in order to fix this, if you want your application to render the same on every um yes, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, okay. So if you want your application to render the same on every device, irrespective of the user changing their browser theme to be dark themed or not, you could go to your project folder, SRC, you'll see styles, then global CSS. Click on global CSS, you'll see something like Artimedia prefers color scheme dark. So you get rid of this. And that's all. So if I go back and see that, you can see that this is light theme. This is how it is being displayed on every user's um, system, irrespective of their preference. So in case some of us have these issues when working with front-end frameworks, this is what you can do. All right, now we've done this. Before you can interact with anything blockchain, I think I should make this interactive now. So before, hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, I am with you.
Oh, okay, thank you. So before you can interact with a blockchain network, what do you need? What is your access to interact with the blockchain? So this is a question I'm throwing to the entire house. I want to be sure we are together, because from now henceforth we'll be doing this part together. So I'm asking the rest people in the house: Ifeoluwa, Abdurrahman, Victor, Vadims, Michael, Abbas, GLQ, Jean. How do you connect to the blockchain? What is your first interaction with the blockchain before you can start doing anything in the blockchain network? You can send a message, and if you don't know, still send a message you don't know, or raise your hand or something. I just want to be sure that we are together and it's not just Emmanuel. Victor, Abdurrahman. Okay, okay. All right. So when you are dealing with the blockchain, what you need to be able to interact with the blockchain is like an identity, right? You need an address. You need an address to be able to interact with the blockchain, perform any transaction, and all that. And in order for you to connect with any dApp, I'm sure we've seen some applications, some decentralized applications. Before we have access to doing anything, performing any action on those decentralized applications, we have to connect our wallets, right, to those applications before it gives us access to maybe exchange or perform any action. So yeah, we are building a decentralized application, a decentralized web. This is very, very different from Web 2, because in Web 2 you get users' bio data, right? Their name, their email address, their phone numbers, and all that. But once it comes to the Web 3 space, interacting with a decentralized application, okay, okay, okay. So interacting with a decentralized application, it is just your wallet that is needed. No information from you. We don't want to know who you are in person, just your wallet address. And so we'd have to connect our wallet to our application. we have to add that option so that when user visit our site, they can connect their wallets before performing any action. And so we have two frameworks majorly for wallet connection. We have Connect Kit. I think this is it. Yes. And we have Rainbow Kit, supported by JS. So whatever button you want to work with, if you want to work with the Connect Kit, or you want to work with the Rainbow Kit, this is how the button will appear if you're working with Rainbow Kit. So when you click on it, it will pop this up so that you can connect your wallet to your connect your address to this application before you proceed further. So as the dev, you'll choose which you would want to work with. And time is already far behind against us. So um, let's work with Rainbow Kit quickly and see what we can achieve. Please, Emmanuel, can you see my screen? Let me be sure.
Yeah, Rainbow Kids.
Okay,
View
thank you.
docs.
So we view the docs. So you can watch this video at your time. We'll go straight to installation. For installation, there are two methods. If you use this method for installation, you do not need to create that next application anymore. You can just call in the folder, you can just type this in terminal, in your terminal. Make sure you're in the folder where you want to install your front-end application. Then you type this. This will automatically install Rainbow Kit application plus WAGMI plus Next.js plus TypeScript, all of them. It automatically install them straight up in one installation. So once you've done that, when you go back to your Next.js screen like this, after you call npm run dev localhost 3000, you will see your connect button up here. Then these write-ups, various write-ups that comes with it. So this is if you're scaffolding a new project, but we've already scaffolded a Next.js project. So just go to the manual setup. So do npm install this. Oops, sorry. You have to cd into the front end because we've already created the front end application. So you cd into the front end before you install this.
So basically, now we want to use the Rainbow UI kit rather
Yes,
than
yes.
the Next.js kit, or with the Next.js kit, or the Next.js front end.
Okay, so are you asking the question?
Yeah, I'm asking, yeah.
So right now what we are doing is we've already installed Next.js kit. So what we are doing now is just to install the Rainbow Kit and the WAGMI.
Okay.
So if we use the other method, we'll install everything at once together. We don't need to create front end first and install Rainbow Kit later. Everything will be installed at once. All right, so it is installed. So now that we have that installed, we'll go to our you see all these methods. These are the things that are needed for it to work. So these are the configurations we need. So these configurations will be going straight to our app.js. Now, if you are using basic React and not Next.js, this configuration will be done in your index.js. Please don't mix it up. If you are using React.js, strictly React.js, this configuration will be done in your index.js file. But because we are working with we're working with Next.js, we'll be doing it in our app.js file. So we copy this and src pages app. Okay, so it's app.csx. So paste here. So go back to our front end, go back to our Rainbow kit. After pasting all the imports that we'll be using, would come here, copy this also, paste. So after that, we'll wrap our app in this. So there has been some updates, constant updates on the Rainbow Kits family. Sorry, cut this out. And then you close it, close the wagme config. So make sure put the brackets. So let's see if this would go through. So because of the different issues with the Rainbow Kit, different additions, there are so many supports for various tools. So for we that are using Next.js, we can scroll down and use this Next.js. So let's try this. In order to save time debugging and all that, we'll use what has been fixed. So in the app.tsx file, we'll see that it's a little bit different from ours. So we can just work with this. Just copy this and come here to save our time and paste. So hopefully we shouldn't have errors. We'll take this off. Okay, so here you can add whatever chain you want. These are the various chains that will be available in the wallet, in the connect button. So we can add Sepolia. Then here also add Sepolia. You can add Polygon or whatever wallet you want to add. So here, whatever wallet um, you want to add, like MetaMask and all. MetaMask is already it's more popular, so you don't need the configuration. But in case you try it and it doesn't work, you can add MetaMask wallet or any other wallets that you'd want to add this so that users can connect to your application using that particular wallet. You can add it here. And if you just want only one network, you can clear every other thing and use just that network. So after doing that, you go to the index.tsx file. So let's clear all these. Just need to give a p tag below and let's call our button. It is called connect button from Rainbow Kit. So let's hope everything goes well now. It is our app. Sorry. I'm sorry. So we have to do some debugging. Let me see. Okay, import trace for requested module. Whoa. Okay, let's be sure we are not missing anything out. So we're using this exactly and our index. We're calling the connect button. And we've imported it here. Sure. Yeah, imported. So it's our pages app.tsx. What part is giving us this error? Fs. If there's anyone that has seen the error before me, please kindly identify so that we don't waste much time. So it can't resolve Fs. I'm searching for where we have this. Okay, so these are some of the issues that comes with using this. There's always updates, recent updates. Okay, 500. So okay, so let's be sure that our app is working. Let me comment this out first. Let me restart the server. Let me run it here. Okay, so let's go back and work on this. So trying to find out where we started getting the error from. Okay, so for this API key, like I told you, it's you get it from your Alchemy provider. So we can get the Sepolia key. We can read it from our SRC file, from our um env file. Where is the env? Here. But we could just paste it here. So whatever I want to work with, we create a .env file, then import .env. And in our front end tab test, create a .env file and call it alchemy id. Remember that this .env is in your front end. It's different from the one in your backend. So let's copy this one again. All right, so we import our .env file here. Let's go back to our rainbow kit. Let's see our config. See this. Oh. All right, so I'm trying to figure out why we are having issues with this error. There's always new errors every day, and I've been informed that our time is up. So I don't know, Mr. Emmanuel.
Yeah. Okay, so a quick one, guys. Thank you very much for engaging and waiting till
My
now.
video is off.
You're muted. Okay, yeah. So Faith and I were planning to do a part two session for this to complete the session. So from what we have done today, we'll walk through from starting from how to use ADAT. From ADAT, we moved to deploying a contract. From deploying a contract, we moved to, yes, we're using ADAT, so deploying a contract, taking you to the testnet, because we use Sepolia, so we went to the testnet of Sepolia to, get the ABIs, and, we engage with TypeScript. We we're shown how to also install React, like the template, the React hooks and all, using Next, and also Rainbow UI. So I think we've done quite a lot of things now, but for the next phase, we are going to work with the template, then just integrate the ABIs,
Yes.
and that's what we're going to be doing. So keep tabs. We are going to be releasing that information very soon. So for you, Faith, there's a question here where someone says, in
Okay.
your experience, which is better among the two? So among the two means between Rainbow UI kits and what's the other one you mentioned? Uh,
Connect kits.
Connect kits. Yes. So someone say which is better among the two?
It just depends on your preference. The both are okay. It's just that for the whole migration of WAGMI from ETAS to Vim has caused some issues in connecting these tools to like flexibility and more ease. It is Rainbow Kit, but then they both do the same thing. If you just understand them, you can work with it at any time. But then for like customizability of the buttons, Rainbow Kit gives that this thing allowance more than Connect Kit. So I'm not having any preference. Okay, WAGMI. Okay, WAGMI. Okay, sorry, let me read this question well properly.
So someone says it's the first time hearing WAGMI. Can you please touch a bit on that? So WAGMI, well, there's a slang, or we're all gonna
Okay,
make it in the crypto lingo.
we're all
So yeah,
gonna make it. All
yeah.
right, so WAGMI. WAGMI is a framework for ETAS.js. It was a framework for ETAS.js. So ETAS.js is that connector that helps us to interact with the blockchain, to get information from the blockchain, read information from the blockchain, and write to the blockchain. That is what ETAS.js helps us to achieve. Once, as long as that blockchain is EVM compatible, right? ETAS.js works for that. But then, when you are working with ETAS.js, there are many functions that you have to implement yourself. What WAGMI does is that WAGMI helps to like abstract so many of these functions for us, so we don't have to implement them ourselves anymore. So WAGMI was an ETAS.js framework, right, for interacting with the blockchain, and it has React hooks that you can use to plug into your decentralized application. That's for
Okay.
Michael. I hope I did justice to that question.
Yeah, yeah. Someone mentioned something. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I think the person deleted it. Um, person sent a message that they are the Web2 developer and they're just trying to, grasp into like transition to the Web2, Web3, ecosystem. And that's why you need Ecolance. You should check out Ecolance, www.ecolance.io. And you also join the community also. Um, yeah, you can send me a message or send me a DM on any of the maybe LinkedIn or Discord. So thank you very much, Faith. I so much appreciate it. I know
Yeah,
you've done a lot of work through. We went from smart contracts, we went to
yeah.
the framework, and we went to trying to now integrating the buttons. So it's really a kind of work. I still got to do sort of like CSS and some other stuff. So yeah, so for everyone who is here who thinks the developer ecosystem is just no, no, take some time to really write the codes back end, make sure the buttons are actually working front end and are actually initiating what you have put in your back end. So that's like a level of intense work. So thank you very much, Faith, for your time. I'm going to be scheduling
Thank
another
you
call
too.
with you.
Okay.
That will be September. I'm going to be scheduling another call with you, and we'll work with like I said, frameworks and like a set framework and just do the connectivity and
Yeah.
also thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you for waiting through. This video are going to be uploaded on YouTube, but
Okay.
preferably I would also want us to have completed, what do you call it? To have completed what we started already before also uploading it on YouTube. But then
Yeah.
tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let them know about techFiesta. Let them know about what we do at techFiesta. So I should just reiterate, techFiesta is the first online blockchain-powered hackathon platform. We pay,
Mm.
what do you call it, developers in stable coins. The goal is actually to decentralize and revolutionize the developer experience in hackathons. So
Wow.
client host hackathon on techFiesta and stable coins, and also developers get paid in stable coins. But we are not just only for the stable coins and the bounty system. We're also concerned with the development of the developers who are actually in our community, and that's why we created this workshop. We're going to be having another workshop in September. At completion of this workshop, we're going to be bringing top guys, top speakers to come and talking with the developer. We're having the developer teacher. If you have not watched the developer teacher, go to our YouTube. We had it this month. We're going to be having another one next month also. And the goal of the developer teacher is to have a roundtable for developers by developers. That's basically the goal. So follow us on all of our socials. That's also important. So thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely, lovely day. Thank you very much, Faith. I so much appreciate it.